I'm so repulsed by the corruption of the incumbent regime, the establishment regime around the issues of censorship, for example, around this diversity stuff, which was over the top. People overplayed their hands. I've said that here before. We're experiencing a backlash. Yeah, there's a lot of pro-white sentiment in the anti-DEI thing, but then there was discrimination against white people. There was in the spirit of the DEI. My friend, I have to ask you, what are you making of this new political dispensation that we're living through? They're moving fast and breaking things all over the place, and it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on. It's only been less than a month as we speak here, that Trump has been in office. Elon Musk and the DOGE insurgency. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's definitely shaking things up. All of the controversial cabinet appointees like Tulsi Gabbard or Pete Hegseth or RFK Jr. have been confirmed as we speak and are assuming the helm in the departments. My friends here in New England are pulling their hair. We just had dinner with a good friend the other night, and all she wanted to talk about was the sky is falling, and I can imagine in your circles in New York City, a similar consternation and maybe even a bit of panic is afoot. I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, in my circles, there is a great deal of panic. I'll try this. I've got Trump derangement syndrome. I shouldn't be your sparring partner here. Look at this. I mean, frankly, I have a hard time feeling like my problem with the idea of this man at the helm of this country was me getting my knickers in a twist. I mean, this is scary. He's putting thoroughly incompetent, underqualified people in positions of massive responsibility. There's his tweet, I believe, yesterday, which goes along the lines of, what is it? To save your country is not breaking the law. That's pretty extreme. And that's coming, right from the president's mouth. This is him tweeting this out. And so he's openly saying that, laws will have to be broken so that the nation can be reinvented in the way that he chooses. And honestly, I wrote my Times piece saying that DEI, as we've known it since 2020, did need to go. They're going further than that. And this is a note I don't often strike, but they are sanctioning and letting pass a kind of actual verging on bigotry and intolerance of difference from whiteness and white maleness, but especially just whiteness, which even I worry about. The presidential office is supposed to set a certain example in tone. It can only have so much of an effect, but it's supposed to reflect what the best in us can be. And the implication that we need to go back to the way we viewed normalness in roughly 1960, and that's really what seems to be going on. Let's get rid of all this shit and just go back to what we all know is real, is depressing. And I don't think that it's a matter of we're going to go back to Jim Crow or anything like that. But this is not ideal, what these people are promulgating. And then there's just the rank incompetence. And so we're going to get rid of the fraud, but they can't really identify any real fraud. We're going to get rid of this deep state. We've all wanted to know what that was. Now they're trying to do it. And the thing with Musk is, whatever his style, whatever his 13th, illegitimate child or whatever, he's not identifying any real fraud. This is all absurd. It's boys in a sandbox. I'm really disappointed. It's the worst situation I've known in my adult life. And I remember being one of the people who was saying that about GW during roughly the Iraq War. This is the worst it's ever been, which it was from the perspective of my lifetime, because I was just a kid during Watergate. But this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. Our country is being run. I'm not going to call him a name, but this isn't right. It's not right.
Yeah, I don't share your foreboding and alarm to the same degree anyway. I mean, I agree that there's some shaky stuff that's going on, and we'll see how these people do. Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, he was at a security conference making pronouncements about Ukraine. I mean, he sounded okay from what I heard. You know, I mean, he wasn't babbling or anything like that. I heard J.D. Vance in Munich giving a speech, and I thought it was a very effective speech. I mean, again, there are things that one could, and I'm sure you would disagree with about U.S.-European relations, but J.D. Vance sounded pretty competent in his exposition of their point of view. DOGE is going through the bureaucracy. There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in there to be rooted out, and you're not going to root it out with patting people on the back and whatnot. You're going to have to break some eggs. You're going to have to move fast and break things. I'm willing to give them. I'll give them 6 months and see how it shakes out. But that's just me. I'm so repulsed by what I take to be the corruption of the incumbent regime, the establishment regime around the issues of censorship, for example, around this diversity stuff, which was over the top. People overplayed their hands. I've said that here before. We're experiencing a backlash. Yeah, there's a lot of, pro-white, quote unquote, sentiment in the anti-DEI thing, but then there was discrimination against white people. There was in the spirit of the DEI, So I'm prepared to wait and see how it shakes out. The people did vote pretty definitively. It wasn't a landslide, but it was a very convincing victory in that election. And,